Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me for this segment, we have Jack O'Halloran. He's the co-founder and CEO of SKALE Labs to discuss how AI is being integrated into blockchain today and what the next two major phases will entail. Jack, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
You got it. And let's discuss how AI and its use cases, how have they evolved and changed over the last decade?
Yeah, so we've hit this pinnacle moment where AI is actually intelligent. It's also coinciding with a time where blockchain is finally ready to scale. We're seeing greater efficiencies, greater cost savings, greater user experience. And these technologies are getting ready to have a huge splash and commingle and have a major impact, I think, on almost every person's life.
And we've seen many ways of AI integration with a number of industries, and you're starting to see the first of a three-phase process of AI integrating with blockchain. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, and I think people want to jump right to the deep end immediately, go to phase three, where we actually have this beautiful harmony of programmable money and intelligent AI bots that are making our whole world run in this automated beautiful manner. But the reality is we're not there yet. There are amazing products coming out. I can talk about that later, but right now what we're seeing today is a huge impact in product development, in engineering and quality assurance testing. And almost every company in the world right now, specifically blockchain projects, are using AI to build faster and better. So AI is actually becoming it's adding fuel to the fire of development for AI blockchain products. We're going to get to the finish line faster for AI because of AI.
And so we're kind of in the first phase of it today, as you mentioned. What will the next two major phases look like?
Yeah, so then we're going to start seeing in the really near future, you're going to start seeing applications that actually leverage in a less tightly integrated manner AI and blockchain working in synchronicity. But you're going to start seeing applications that are Web3 native products that are easy to use, that also use artificial intelligence in an augmented manner. And there's going to be components where maybe, on the social sphere where you have, user generated content such as music and art and graphics, et cetera, being augmented and created by, with AI capabilities. You're going to see other consumer related products really start integrating these AI features while utilizing things like NFTs, cryptocurrencies, smart contracts, programmable money. And you're going to start seeing kind of more loosely coupled applications come really soon. And I think come at twice the rate they would have come before AI existed from a developer support perspective.
It's interesting you bring that up, particularly when it comes to the consumer, because when you think about blockchain and some of the uses, whether it's digital assets or using it as NFTs to be branded, it seemed like it was to a very specific set of people that understood what that technology is. But I feel like AI is a little bit more consumer facing now that folks know how to use ChatGPT and they're starting to learn more about it. So when you think about the consumer now being involved with this, what are some potential positives and negatives that the intersection of these technologies will bring to the world?
Yeah, and I started working in AI. I worked in AI for about 10 years, started working in 2008. The funniest thing about AI is that it wasn't intelligent. And it wasn't until ChatGPT till it had its real moment where all of a sudden it was usable. And I think blockchain is going through a similar progression and development curve where, initially in 2018, when it had a really, first major splash, there were only about 10,000 people that could even figure out how to use, DeFi and different, MetaMask and different, clunky products. But now MetaMask and other products have really dramatically improved. So we're starting to see the consumer-friendly element and user experience element of crypto fall in line and kind of hit its pinnacle moment. And I think they will hit and coincide at roughly the same time. So I think the next year is going to be incredibly exciting. But to your point, we need to make these applications consumer friendly, and consumers shouldn't know they're using an NFT. They shouldn't need to know that there's a large language model. They just need to get the value of the product they're using.
What's the ideal end goal then for a fully decentralized AI model?
Well, so if you look at the strengths of AI and the strengths of blockchain, it really comes especially where there's a Venn overlap. It comes into automation and efficiency. Okay, so when you look at use cases where automation and efficiency of intelligent actions, intelligent decisions, and programmable money and escrows, i.e. smart contracts, where these two things can coincide and come together, there's going to be dramatic impact. And this will start in more consumer fun areas like gaming, where things are more experimental, social media, consumer internet. But you're going to start seeing healthcare, supply chain. You're going to see it integrated to transit and transportation. You're going to start seeing this come together in more real world applications behind the scenes, even in healthcare and life science. So it will permeate those other industries later because they move slower. And the tip of the spear will be the more fun categories like gaming.
Yeah, tell me where SKALE fits in the ecosystem of blockchain.
Yeah, so our goal with SKALE is from the start was to make blockchain scalable, cost-effective, and be able to support AI related products. We launched the first AI integrated smart contract technology back in 2019 into SKALE, but it was built and designed so that you could have machines making decisions on how to process transactions. And that's really important because when it comes to gas fees and transaction fees, I think a lot of people know blockchain can be not that usable and expensive. And so in order to have a successful, viable blockchain integrated AI technology, you need to have it has to be cost effective, fast, and easy to use. And so that's the goal of SKALE, is to try to enable these high scale, high volume type applications to exist in the blockchain world, which hasn't been possible in the first run of blockchain.
And I understand that SKALE has saved its users over $1 billion in ETH gas fees. How were you able to make that happen?
Yeah, so there's a different unit economic model when it comes to the SKALE. So if you look at Amazon, let's take Uber or Lyft. You take an Uber, you don't have to pay the Amazon fee on the back end for the servers or the Google Cloud fee. It all gets baked into the ride. It gets baked into your costs. You order DoorDash, guess what? You're not paying the server fees. SKALE has a similar model where application developers subsidize the cost of gas fees for end users. And so, but it still does not break decentralization, does not break the security models. And so the whole goal is to try to enable a Web 2 type experience in a Web 3 world that fits. And that's really how we were able to get to this point of saving, over $1.3 billion in gas fees now, because we're able to change the unit economic structure.
And that goes back to your point before about making it usable for the everyday consumer. Until you mentioned it, I never even thought of AWS as I'm taking an Uber ride, but it goes back to your point. You shouldn't realize that you're leveraging some of these technologies when the user experience you want as a consumer might not even be anything related to the technology.
Yeah. And end users right now, like you mentioned the last phase with NFTs, they needed to know what an NFT was. Boom, mind blown for 95% of people that would be using Facebook today. They need to see, hey, I have a digital asset that enables me special access to these key features. It gives me, a pass to my favorite band. I get to buy tickets early. I get discounts on this thing. It just so happens to be an immutable digital asset coded into a smart contract, but why should a normal user care about that?
All right, Jack, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thank you.